y'all, welcome back. It's not another Let's Read. Today I want to talk about my top 10 2020 anime. Yeah, that. 2020 was rough, but I think we were blessed with some really good shows this year, despite what other people have to say about it. And I want to talk about my top 10, which are pretty much just like my favorites from the year. And also, before I start, let me just get this out of the way. I'm only going to be talking about animes that released in 2020. And are standalone, which means like they're not a continuation of a previous season. So like it's not like season 3 dropped this year, but like season 2 came out last year. Like none of those. Though I do have 2 exceptions in my list, and I think you will understand why. But other than that, all new shows. I will say 2 shows that are near and dear to my heart that I feel like I need to give a shout out to is, of course, Food Wars: The Fifth Plate, which is the 5th season, which is also the last season. Moment of silence. Okay, yeah, I've been in love with Food Wars for the past, like, 2 years, I feel like. It's such a good show. I know it's interesting, but I just feel like I've gone on this journey with Soma, and like now it's like done. Anyway, it's fine. Also shout out to ReZero season 2 part 1. I know everybody was waiting for that for like fucking ever, and then it got delayed, and it was just like a whole bunch of mess. And then obviously Fire Force season 2, a continuation from last season. Of course, like, it seems like it's getting to the end, but it's not. Like, Fire Force has just begun, like, plotline wise, so excited for that. But shout out to those. They are technically continuations of other seasons, but still fire nonetheless. Yeah, and they're not in my top 10. Well, cool. Let's get started. Alright, so in no particular order, number 10. Drumroll, please. Brand New Animal! Yes, or otherwise known as BNA. This show, wow. Trigger, you did it again. I really think this show was slept on. I don't know, I think mainly because of the way it aired. So like, when I first watched it, it was in like February or March, which I believe is when it came out on Netflix in Japan. And there was only 6 episodes. And then in like June or July or something, they dropped the last 6 episodes, but it was also in conjunction with it airing on Netflix in Japan. I mean, in America, sorry. At least to say, I was ahead of the game. But I think having a pause between the episodes like that, made me appreciate the like storyline, because it prepared me for what the ending could or would be. Plus, like, I knew it was only gonna be 12 episodes. That's very Trigger-like. So I knew I needed to savor like every episode possible. Pretty much the show is about the separation of like 2 cities. One is human and one is for anthropomorphic animal people called Beastmen, and a human girl named Michiru who has like mysteriously turned into a Beastman, and that is in the form of a raccoon dog. I love the plotline personally. Trigger is well known for like their other works like Kill la Kill and Promare and stuff, for putting like really crazy, wacky, larger than life kind of like storylines with like major plot twists like right at the end. The characters are dope. Physics don't matter. And of course the soundtrack was a banger. Oh my god, I think I listened to the ending song Night Running about 300 times this year. I'll show like my Spotify for proof. Yeah, and I enjoyed literally every minute of it. At number 9 we got Inspector. Yes, super mega heavy underrated show. God, like, yo, Inspector like introduced an entirely new perspective to like the supernatural like mystery genre in anime. I will say this. This is a very mature, very dialogue heavy show. I think the ratio between like dialogue and action is like 70-30. Like it's a lot. And I remember people saying like while it was airing, like they dropped it for that reason. And to those people, I just say, you missed out. Pretty much the story is about this girl named Iwanaga, who looks like she's 12, but she's not, and is like a literal god, like among like ghosts and like mystical creatures and shit. She has a fake eye and a fake leg, and she's pretty much like a spirit detective. Not that kind of spirit detective. And then the other protagonist is this boy named Kuro, who is like, he's kind of like her boyfriend, but like not really. It's kind of complicated. And he's got some like generational curse that makes him immortal, and then like every time he dies, he can like predict or change the future. I kind of forgot. But yeah, there's just like so much going on. Anyway, Iwanaga is hella smart, bro. She doesn't have like any magic powers per se, but somehow she can like deduce and solve the most complicated fucking mysteries, and I'm like, whoa. Yeah, the major portion of the show is specifically about this case of Still Lady Nanase, and let me tell you, whew, yo, that shit had me on the edge of my seat every episode. I was like, what's gonna happen? How are they gonna figure this out? Like, what's going on? They went through like every possible roadblock, path, theory to like figure this shit out, and like I low-key felt like I was solving the mystery, even though like I'm way too dumb to. Coming up with number 8, we got Toilet-bound Hanako-kun. So, man, this series is so good. I know you're gonna hear me say that a lot, sorry. So, Hanako-kun is a series about pre-existing Japanese like ghost folklore. I don't really know how to describe it. I would compare the idea of like Hanako-kun, the actual like ghost, to like the Western idea of like Bloody Mary, except he's supposed to help you, not kill you. And mainly like the story focuses on the relationship between Hanako-kun, who is represented as like a ghost schoolboy, and Yoshino, a schoolgirl, who she is under contract with Hanako-kun after she turns into a fish. Watch for more context. There's like all these other supporting characters that develop along with the plot line, but pretty much the world that the series exists in is absolutely beautiful. Like, stylistically, everything is just very like bright and colorful and fun, and like I think the design of Hanako-kun draws me more into the series more than anything. I'm a sucker for like very unique looking art styles, and like Hanako-kun has that, trust. Anyway, there's these really heavy mystery elements throughout the series, and you're kind of learning about the represented ghost folklore, or they're called wonders in the series, as you go. I cannot wait for season 2. I know it's gonna be a banger because I read the manga, and the manga is a banger. Number 7, we got Fugou, Keiji, Millionaire, Detective, Balance, Unlimited. Daisuke! It would be bold to say that I love this show, but I really love this show. I was so frustrated when the show started airing in spring, and then like the pandemic hit, and then they had to delay it for 6 fucking months. Oh my god. It was like the world's worst tease. Like, I was like, they dropped 2 episodes, and then they were like, LMAO, we're moving it to the fall or whatever the fuck it aired. Anyway, the show is about Daisuke Kanbei, who is a literal millionaire. Actually, he's probably a billionaire with all the money he fucking spends. who essentially becomes a part of like the Japanese police force to unwork like this mystery within his family. And he ends up having this partner named Haru, and the two of them, chemistry, like it is, oh, I love them together so much, because Daisuke is like this bad boy rich guy who like breaks all the rules, and then Haru is like this stable yet simplistic like hard ass who's all about like rules and duty and whatever, and it's just like, oh, the two of them clash, but it also works. Like, it's just great. What more do you want? Also, did I mention that he uses money to like solve all of their cases, and his balance is unlimited, hence the title? Like, unlimited money. What the fuck? Like, also, like, really random thing, at the end of each episode, they show you like a receipt of all the money Daisuke spent in like within that episode, and the total is wild because he's buying shit like hovercrafts and and whole jet planes and like half a fucking country, and I'm just like, bro. I know a lot of people didn't like the show, but I personally love the way that it was like built up to the end. I thought that was fantastic. I think revealing like Daisuke's true intentions along with his character development was like really smart, because you realize like he's not just an asshole with money. He has like a greater mission. It's just that he just doesn't like listening to people or authority. But anyway, I pray for season 2 or at least an OVA, but if not, I enjoyed it for what it was. All right, number 6, Haikyuu. Specifically Haikyuu to the top, season 4. Okay, this is my first exception on my list. Haikyuu is my shit. Yes, it is a continuation of previous seasons, so it's not new, but I waited way too fucking long for this season to air, Jesus. And then on top of that, they split this shit in half, and I was like, the audacity. Anyway, Haikyuu is very dear to my heart. I've been watching it since like 2015, 2016. I finished the manga. Thank you for that there. Y'all already know how much I love sports anime, so like this is not a surprise. But I feel like this is one of those series where like it is perfection to the genre, like the sports anime genre. As you may or may not know, this season season 4 is the season where our boys at Karasuno finally get to go to finals. God, after so much blood and sweat and tears, we got to see a lot of supporting characters, plot development, specifically for Yamaguchi and Tanaka, which I love. We got to see another Nekoma game. Oh, love Nekoma. Also, we got to see like some really solid Hinata Kageyama moments. We love for that. Oh God. But as much as I was hyped for all the good games that happened this season, nothing excites me more than the game against this team. Yes, Inarizaki. Oh my God. With the light of my world, Atsumumiya. Ah! Oh, and Osamu too. What did we deserve to have such beautiful men? I think in my own personal like opinion, the rank of the teams in Haikyuu, they come in like 3rd next to Karasuno and Fukudani for obvious reasons. They're amazing. I love their team dynamic. I love their players. I love the twins. I love my boy Ojiro. I love Suna. I love Kita. Anyway, I feel like I've been waiting forever for Haikyuu to get to this point, and it finally happened, and I'm so happy, and I just want to cry. But I won't, because we still have another season. Number 5. Keep your hands off of Eizouken! Oh, wow. A gem, a true gem. Eizouken really threw me for a loop, mainly because slice of life types of shows are not really my thing, but the premise sold me so fast. Like, I just got hooked. It was just like, I don't know, it was amazing. It just has super lovable characters and like it's just brimming with innocence. Oh, it's so good. I talked about this a little more in depth on one of my Weeb Wednesdays posts. Go check out my Instagram. But this show is incredibly meta, mainly because it is about the process of animation as an animation. But pretty much like there's 3 girls who join together to create an animation club at school, and it becomes wildly successful because they're all super talented. And pretty much they're working on these projects like left and right, but they're tying in like some comedic elements and like some soft character moments. Again, similar to Hanako-kun, artistic style really pulled me in. You can tell they went real hard on this budget animating this shit because everything is incredibly detailed, and be able to like see the visual manifestations of like what's going on in like the girls' heads is like amazing. It's just, I don't know, like it's the embodiment of thoughts flying out onto a page. And it's phenomenal. There's this like scene towards like the end of the show where they're showing off their final like animation project to an audience, and the audience is like literally blown away by like this imaginary explosion when they're watching the scene, and it's incredible because it makes you feel like you're in the animation, and yeah, it's great. Kamuy is my favorite character. I wish he was real because I know we would probably be friends in real life. Hashtag tall girls. And I hope for a season 2, but you know what? If it's not, that's fine too. Number 4, Dorohedoro. Just one big ass crazy mess. What do you know about a post-apocalyptic, cyberpunk, dystopian world filled with sorcerers, magic, and half animal people? What? I want to say this show made no sense, but I think that's kind of the point. At some point, like, I just started accepting things for what they were. Like, I wasn't even trying to like break it down or put any level of physics or reality into it. If I had to describe what the show was about, I would say it's about a lizard man who is not a lizard trying to recover his memories. Pretty much. But still, even that is so out of context. Beyond though all the mystery and gore and stuff, I'm just really here for the relationship building, specifically between Kaimon and Nikaido and fucking Shin and Noi. Oh my god. I have never wanted 2 people to be together more. Personally, I would love to be in between Shin and Noi, but that's another whole different situation. I would also like to say that this is one of the few shows that utilizes like 3D inspired animation, and it just worked really well. I can say the only other good example I can think of is like Beastars kind of uses a similar thing. Also, I'm a sucker for world building, and I just love the entire dichotomy between like the magic user's world and like the whole. Like, I just think that's super cool. Plus they have this whole like transportation system with like the magic doors, and the fact that everything that's happening in the whole is like remnants or like leftovers of the effects of the actions of the magic users in their world. Like, that's really cool. And the fact that the 2 worlds are like conjoined but also like not, and they affect each other but not really. I don't know, it's great. Definitely trying to read the manga ASAP because I cannot wait for season 2. Number 3, we're getting up there, and it's Golden Kamuy season 3. Alright, second exception and last exception. So I binged season 1 and season 2 of Golden Kamuy earlier this year, and it was only fair for me to be excited for season 3 when I heard it was airing in fall. Golden Kamuy is steadily becoming one of my favorite series of all time. It's not my top 10 yet, but it's close. Like, it's real close. Yes, it is a continuation of previous seasons, but there is so much crazy shit happening. It almost feels like it's its own show. Like, I don't even know how to describe. The arcs are so beautifully planned, and executed. I don't think I've seen a show where there are this many character betrayals. And of course, what keeps me coming back is the relationship between Sugimoto and Usurpa. This season, they were separated for the majority of it, and Sugimoto's mission was pretty much to get her back. Spoiler, they do get reunited, and it is so beautiful. I wish I could put into words just like how much I enjoy this series, but I think it is just like the perfect balance between comedy, action, adventure, with like a sprinkle of romance and like emotional stuff. Like it's just so good. Also, this is the one show where like the characters have grown on me and I hate it. I hate it so much. Any show that makes me change my mind about a character, I'm like, fuck. Because I'm very good at like seeing a character, establishing whether I like them or not, and then like keeping that for the remainder of the show. Last season, I was pretty much like Team Sugimoto, Team Usurpa, Team Shiraishi. Now I'm Team Tanigaki, Team Inkarma, Team Tsukushima, kinda, Team Koito, kinda, low-key Team Hijikata. Like, I cannot tell you how many characters I love more now in the third season than I did in the first and the second. Animation is beautiful. Of course, Noda is known for illustrating these amazing backdrops and these and like beautiful scenery like in the manga. Soundtrack was a banger, of course. I'm continually learning more and more about indigenous Japanese ethnic groups, which I think is super dope. And of course, I was on the edge of my seat for literally every single episode. Cannot wait for season 4. Number 2, here we go. And it is Great Pretender! Okay, this show, holy shit. Alright, mind-blowing. This is Ocean's 11, the anime. This is Now You See Me, the anime. This is Robin Hood, the anime. Any crime-based, rooting for the robbers type of movie or show that you've seen, this is it, but like anime form. Like, I don't even know how to describe to you, like, how well adapted this fucking anime is. It's just so good. Just so many charismatic characters and beautiful animation. Thank you, Wit Studios. You did an amazing job. Honestly, I didn't think too much of the first couple of episodes. Yes, I liked Edamura and Laurent, and I liked the idea of a swindler swindling a swindler. Sounds like a tongue twister. Until they revealed that everybody was getting played. I was like, what kind of fucking plot twist is that? And then their first, like with the first case of them tricking like the mafia movie producer guy into like the fake drugs, then like the whole swindler crew like came out and they were like, you realize like everybody was in on it. I lost my shit. I was like, how? And then there was a whole another like 12 episodes. I was like, this could have been a movie. Like, this could have been the show, this one case. No, but there was 2 more cases and everyone was better than the fucking last. I think character design is probably one of my favorite parts. It's kind of like a blend between Trigger style animation and like a Western cartoon. It's super bright and colorful and exaggerated, but like not too over the top that you lose like the realism. Best character hands down is Abby. Will die for her. Next to Laurent for obvious reasons. Everyone's backstories are great. Loved each like antagonist for each case. Just great. Go watch Great Pretender, please. All right, we're down to number 1. If you haven't figured it out, I'm very surprised because it is clearly Jujutsu Kaisen. Obviously, here, look. This is how much I love this show. Hold on. You see this? I have a Jujutsu Kaisen wall. Jujutsu Kaisen fucking like start guidebook. Like I have the manga right there. Like look, next to my Yuji plushie. Don't. Come on now, don't play with me. Come on now, were you expecting something different? All right, everyone is on the JJK train and I love it. Probably the most popular series out of the fall anime. It's probably the most popular fucking anime of the year. I wouldn't be surprised, and neither should you. Yes, the show is technically not finished, but guess what? It doesn't matter. Because I know it's gonna be a banger! I read the manga, trust me, I know. So when I got started reading the manga in January, I knew whenever it was gonna get adapted, it was gonna blow everyone's mind. I'm not gonna get into the plot because I feel like we know what it is at this point. I know a lot of people are saying like, it has a very stereotypical like shonen plot, but the characters make the show. Like, let's be real. The dichotomy of like Yuji and Sukuna is brilliant. You can't tell me anything different. You got this overpowered, fearsome, cruel, cursed dude who's housed in the body of a kind but like strong-hearted boy who doesn't know shit about Jujutsu. Like, come on, that's fucking amazing. That's every character in the series except Mahito is amazing. Like, everyone is unique and they have their own unique ability, and everyone just has like these flaws or tragic backstory or trauma or something, and it's just great. People will complain, right? Oh, it's just like every other shonen anime like Naruto or Bleach or blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Just shut up. Let me have this. Let the fandom have this. Jujutsu Kaisen is like way more than like badass characters and high octane fights, though that is a decent portion of why it is good. It's also like a commentary on like human morality and like understanding like life and death in a very like unbalanced world filled with like unfair power dynamics. You wanna know why Yuji is having a fucking mental breakdown every time he has to fight a curse? It's because curses are born or manifestations of human emotions and fragility. Like, and then curses go and harm humans, which is just a big metaphor for humans harming themselves. Don't even get me started. Anyway, every episode is a banger. Animation is flawless. Thank you, Mappa. Fight scenes, chef's kiss. Soundtrack, flames, opening and ending songs, amazing. Characters, great. Manga, phenomenal. Like, and then when you think like it cannot get better, Gojo. Like, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binaries, let me introduce to you the hottest man on the face of the fucking earth. Actually, probably in the known universe. Like, let's be real. And before you argue with me, tell me another person who is that hot and wears a blindfold 99% of the time. I'll wait. Actually, if you have suggestions, please tell me in the comments. Good lord, this man is perfect. Tall, strong, confident, rich. Yeah, he got money. Powerful. What you know about 3 different jutsu techniques? And the most powerful domain expansion. My god, you can't tell me when he hits you with the Denkai. You can't tell me that shit wasn't amazing. And still, somehow, he is attractive with the blindfold on. I mean, blindfold off is still amazing, but still, like, Gojo ran over. I'm done. But for real, Jujutsu Kaisen is an amazing, amazing series. Cannot wait for the Kyoto School event arc coming in a couple of weeks. Go read the manga if you don't want to wait. Either way, it's gonna be a good time. All right, that was my top 10 anime for 2020. Let me know how you feel in the comments. Did you watch any of these? How'd you feel about it? If you didn't, why not? Was there any that I should have included, but I did not? Love to hear your thoughts. Oh, that's right, before I go, I got some honorable mentions. Kaguya-sama Season 2, we ain't gonna act like Shika didn't fucking dominate all of 2020. Rent-A-Girlfriend, Only for Chizuru, and Ikebukuro Westgate Park. And with that, thanks for watching, y'all. Hope you enjoyed, and of course, keep snacking. Happy 2021, y'all.